What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. They say the Lord works in mysterious ways, that silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation. There's a religious notion that the power of God has no need to reveal itself, that God doesn't need to prove his existence. In fact, God doesn't actually exist. To exist means to have objective reality of being. That's too confining for God. How can he just exist? Instead, God is existence himself. He is present in all that exists. So he lies above what exists to the very idea of existence itself. What exists without him? What can exist without existence? So there's the saying that I heard from my friend, the same night I heard it from my mom. And both of them come from different religions. And my poorly translated version of the saying goes, the Lord's staff is silent, that you do not get to see or witness his power. It is invisible, but ever present. It is always there. Now, this can be taken both as the staff that supports you and the one that beats you into submission. There is no doubt times in our lives when we feel we are walking alone, forgotten by the universe, lost and afraid. And while it is said there are an extra pair of footprints in the sand that walk aside you at all times, there are times when you lose sight of those extra footprints and fool yourself into thinking you are alone. But in those moments, those are not your footprints. You are being carried. There's a lyric by DMX that puts this beautifully. It goes, and when you shine, it's going to be a sight to behold. So don't fight to be old or lose sight when it's cold. See that light down the road is going to guide you there. 2 sets of footprints. I was right beside you there. But what about them times I only saw one? Those were the times I was under the gun. It was then I carried you, my son. Led you to safety. It just wasn't your time to face me. The thing is, his support is invisible to us most of the time, not our time to face him. We have to trust that it is there and lean into it. And the more we lean, the more we find ourselves supported. And there are times you can put your entire weight on it, and it will support you and guide you home. And the other way to look at this is the concept of karma. Now, I believe in a merciful, forgiving God, so I don't necessarily believe God punishes us. But there are times our own actions punish us. And the Lord is there to make sure that we get the lesson, so that by the time we arrive to him, we have been absolved. And so what is also said about his silent staff is that when it hits you, you will not know where you are being hit from. When life leads you to pay for your misgivings, to balance the equilibrium of the universe, and while that may seem like a punishment, it is a divine gift to help you be set back on the straight path. Our sins accumulate unseen until they manifest as trials. The Quran says, when our punishment comes upon them, they will have no warning except the cry when they are seized. Also confirming that his divine punishment is as sudden as it is silent and will catch you off guard as it falls invisibly. This is meant to serve as a foundational principle for morality, the idea that we should keep in touch with a sense of God consciousness, or they say taqwa, a form of spiritual self-guarding against the sins that can easily possess us, because sins do and escalate. Al-Ghazal said, if the first inward thought is not warded off, it will generate a desire. Then the wish will generate an intention, and the intention will generate the action, and the action will result in ruin and divine wrath. So the evil must be cut off at its root, which is when it is simply a thought that crosses the mind, from which all other things then follow on. And enough unobstructed, unchecked sins harden your heart and distance you from God, and come back as a form of silent retribution in worldly trials. Self-guarding, holding ourselves accountable, saves us from being held accountable. The good news is fruits also manifest quietly. Just like you cannot sense the support you have, you also cannot witness the slow underground growth that is underway to eventually bear fruit. The consequences of your good deeds come back to you as silent fruits. A path cleared where you didn't encounter the obstacles. A realignment that saved you from pitfalls. All the things that go right that you cannot account for because you don't have access to the alternate universe where it could have just gone wrong. But you were saved from that. You arrived just on time or left just before trouble showed up. We don't know in how many ways we are being saved every day. Because to us, it's hard to register gratitude for the things that are just going the way they went yesterday. But there's no guarantee that grace is missing from you getting home safely every day, or you continuing to wake up to a house full of love, with you and anyone you care about having another day with their good health. You just don't register this grace because it seems ordinary to you, where they could be, and most likely are, the silent fruits of your good deeds. You are made in God's likeness. Walk in His light and trust that silently He walks with you. I love you, family. Stay true always. I see you on the next show.